All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, very excited to be talking to an individual competing at BKFC KnuckleMania 5, which goes down on January the 25th, and should be a barn burner, as is customary with this individual. I have on today Patrick Brady and Zach Calmus are going to knuckle up and toe the line, and great having Zach Calmus on Bare Knuckle Bowker today. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on Bare Knuckle Bowker. I'm excited to be on the show. Let's talk bare knuckles, baby.
Yeah, no doubt, man. This must be exciting to be part of this. I mean, Knucklemania has always been like that big tentpole event that the company has done, and this seems like a huge one in Philadelphia for the first time and stuff like that. How does it feel to, be a part of this card? Like, what was it like getting that initial call, I guess, to be part of an event like this?
The city of brotherly love, and I'm so excited to fight in Philadelphia. To just an honor, Rocky Balboa, the history of Philadelphia, the fans in Philadelphia. I don't think there's even a better place to fight, other than home for me. But Boston, Boston and Philadelphia have had a rivalry across all sports boards. So this is just added to the legacy that our cities have created for us. So it's an honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what do you think the atmosphere will be then? Do you think the crowd will maybe not be in your favor then, or do you think your exciting style will kind of win them over in the end? Just talking about that rivalry you mentioned there.
Well, I I've fought in other states and on other cards, and I fought in other cities where I was coming in behind enemy gates, if you will, stepping into enemy territory. And the thing is that no matter what, with the bare knuckle fan base, if you come out there and fight and show respect and leave it all out there, usually I'm able to convert a lot of those fans into to Shark-a-maniacs. They end up really respecting me, or just the city will respect me when I leave. The city will respect me when I get there, and they'll respect me when I leave because I'm a respectful guy, and I think that's another reason why I'm on that card. You know what I mean? Because regardless of where you're from, you're gonna come out and see Zach Calmus, Pat Brady, and regardless of where you're from, I'm gonna have supporters there too. So I know that that's gonna be great.
Yeah, and there's so much to talk about with the card, man, but I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on your previous fight because, we're talking about history with this particular event being, the first one in Philadelphia. It seemed like there was a few historic components to your last fight, just with it being at Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, such a, massive crowd. I mean, potentially, if not outright, the largest BKFC attendance they've had and everything. Like, what was it like being part of an event like that and getting such an emphatic outcome in your fight that you had there?
So Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, August 3rd. That was insane. I had my brother Blake LaCaze in my corner. I had Coach Dave, Champs Boxing, and I ran my camp up there at AJ Galante's gym, Champs of Banbury. And that was exclusive. I had private training, early mornings, late nights, but everything paid off. The Coach Dave had a plan when we started camp, and we stuck to the plan and we got the W. So we finished Ryan Shough in convincing fashion, and that's exactly the what we trained for.
Yeah, and it seems like that training arrangement has served you in so many regards. Because I saw an interview you did after that fight talking about how focused you are and just shaving off some bad habits that you had said were there previously, and how everything just really went according to plan with that fight. So it seems like you're in great alignment in a lot of different regards there, from what I can tell.
Makes all the difference. There's certain things that I wasn't seeing that I was doing, and certain things that I wasn't doing when I should be doing them. So I think it's great to have another set of eyes, that you can either take the advice or leave it, but it's better when you can take most of it and you know it's going to work. So, yeah, we've had a great camp, and we've been real focused since Sturgis. You know, Coach told me the other day, Zach, you really didn't even stop. I kind of showed up to practice next week and was like, I know they're going to get me back within 2 or 3, so we should just. Um, it was longer than that, but we should just get back on the grind. I have no time to waste, so you know, got to stay in shape.
And you mentioned the importance of Blake LaCaze. I mean, just what a great person to have with you in terms of like a very regular, training partner over the years and stuff like that, but also someone who is very active on the circuit in his own right. I mean, coming off of a performance where he went the distance against a former champion in BKFC, I imagine he's invaluable both in the training camp and just in terms of, someone in your corner who knows what it's like being in the fire, as it were, I guess.
There he is.
That's my man.
There's Big Blake right there.
Oh, hey, how's it going, man?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, doing great, doing great. No, that's awesome. I love that. Just yeah, I mean, just great having you both on the program actually. I don't usually have dual features on Bare Knuckle Bowker, so appreciate the little drop in.
So I brought Blake in, and I always do my fight camps, or I make the arrangement to get down there to Louisiana, fly into Monroe, and then I train at Sparky's gym for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I come back and I meshed that with my camp with Coach Dave at Champs Boxing. So that's been a huge thing. Is him both coming up to from Louisiana and me going down to Louisiana, because that puts a different type of stress on your body. So if I go down there in the summer, it's hot. There's heat pockets. It challenges me physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's a hard life. And then I come back up here, and it's a completely different atmosphere. I mean, literally, the salt in the air, everything's different. So that challenges you. And when you challenge your respiratory system like that, it's like holding the tree down. It builds other roots. That's what I've done is um, I didn't stop. I didn't stop when my hands hurt on the heavy bag, if you will. I just kept going. I kept going. I kept going. I kind of took like a Amish approach to life. I'm done using electric doors. I'm done using electric stairways, things that make it easier for you. So open the door. God gave you strength to use it. So that's been a big aspect of my training that's changed. Is just being real. Be real. It's a fist fight. So if you can't hit a bag with bare knuckles, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and just you talking about not using certain like electric things that just outsource humans having to do something they could easily do. It sounds like from what you're talking about, the growth you've had in fighting has just really informed your overall lifestyle in a lot of regards, just maybe has reframed in certain regards how you see some aspects of the world around you and how you want to live within that, I guess.
Healthy. Yeah, I want to live healthy. I want to be around for a while in the sport, so I can keep giving back. You know what I mean? Because the only way to really get forward is to pay back to the community and pay back to the fans and pay back to the company that put you in that position in the first place. So I guess what I'm trying to say is stay humble, work your hardest at whatever you want to do, and by God's grace, you'll most likely get there. There's no time limit on this. It's a journey. It's progression. Love is a circle. So you're gonna go around and around with things you love in life. And that's okay. But it's the process, I guess, that I'm saying, and the process of going around sometimes that makes you who you are. You know what I mean? It's sink or swim, but not everything is so detrimental. Both good or bad can hurt you. So you just gotta keep it all in perspective, and that's what I've been able to do. This camp is just stay humble and stay focused that way.
Yeah, I mean, so important, man, for sure. And just, I guess, one last thing that I wanted to touch on with the last fight, just in terms of the historic context of everything. I thought it was cool that that was the 1,000th bout in BKFC history that you got to take part of. Like, what were your thoughts when you had heard that you were, part of the 1,000th fight in BKFC history? It seems like kind of a cool little anecdote almost.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I prayed to God to win that fight. I prayed hard. Right when I found out the historical aspect of it, I knew that it had a certain amount of pressure to the fight, and that I really wanted that one. I really wanted to win that fight, you know, so I could remember that experience and be proud of myself. And that fight meant a whole lot to me. You know what I mean? I worked real hard, and that fight in Sturgis was just it was a surreal moment. It was unbelievable. Conor McGregor, you know, Taylor Starling, Bret Hart, like all the names on that card were insane. That was a crazy card. Watson, you know what I mean? The big boys going at it. Everybody, Caprio was on it. Everybody on that card was awesome. So yeah, I was happy with Sturgis. You know what I mean? I was really proud to fight on that card.
Yeah, there was a lot of great heavyweight action on that card and also some great heavyweight action on this event for sure in multiple regards, even outside of your fight. But talking about the lead in to this one, because it's kind of interesting. I mean, you've definitely established yourself as one of the more exciting, guaranteed action fighters on the roster. So it would kind of make sense that it would get to a certain point where people, maybe begin, calling you out a little bit or like putting it out there that they would want to fight you. And that seemed to be the case with, your opponent here. Seemed like a few months in the
Yeah.
making, just, based on what he had put out there into the world. Like, what were your thoughts upon hearing that your opponent, Patrick Brady, had called you out those months ago?
Well, he didn't call me out really. He approached me at Mohegan very respectfully. He was like, "Hey man, we make a great matchup, and if you, I would love to do that." And I was like, "Man, that'd be great. We should try and set something up, handshake or whatever." But it wasn't weird or anything. It was like we're just trying to set something for the future. So I kind of knew it was in the works. I kind of figured that's who I was gonna fight. But then just to hear KnuckleMania, and then I heard KnuckleMania that I was gonna be on that card. I knew it was gonna be Pat Brady, most likely because that makes sense. But yeah, I knew about it. He was fully upfront with me and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And guys have been calling me out since. I'm gonna have to correct you, Dylan. No disrespect, but guys have been calling me out since I fought Bobo Bandit in my first fight. I've been getting like serious call outs since I fought Bobo. So my inbox is filled with people, and a few of those people I fought, like McElroy, he called me out after Bobo Bannon, and I ended up fighting him in New York. Um, this guy I fought at Mohegan Sun, he called me out. McKenna, he's from Vermont. He called me out 2 years ago on Messenger. He wanted the fight. So I had a lot of call outs before that. So no, this was nothing like that. He kind of approached me respectfully, and we just thought it would be a good matchup. And so did BKFC, obviously. And I think they're 100%. We're gonna get fight of the night. Fight of the night. Either way, what I'm telling you is this fight's gonna impress people regardless. Regardless. We're men. We are men. We're gonna put on a show, and he's a top guy. He's not a disrespectful person, a bad guy, or nothing like that. So we're just gonna do our thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I love to hear that. Just, yeah, you guys are both going to bring it, and it's going to be a great fight, but just a good rapport all the same, keeping it respectful. I guess to the point, I mean, you used the word impressed at a certain point. Like, were you impressed by his debut effort in BKFC when he finished Lewis Rumsey at BKFC 61?
So here's the facts. Lewis Rumpsey's been ducking me since the beginning. No disrespect to him either. He's a good guy, but I would have done the same thing, but done the same thing quicker to Rumsey. I ain't no Lewis Rumsey, okay? And I think my opponent knows that, I'm it's whatever. You understand? Do I think did I think what was the question?
Just what your thoughts were on his, performance, like his
Oh, his
debut. Yeah.
performance. His performance was great. His performance was great. That's a debut. It was his debut in bare knuckle. He came in, got the W, got the knockout. But to look at that and then say, okay, Pat Brady's fight versus Lewis Rumsey, yeah, he knocked him out. Pat Brady fight versus Zach Calmus ain't gonna look like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I think Lewis might have landed one punch. He just wasn't in shape for the fight. He's a good guy, but he came back and got a W his next fight. You know what I'm saying? I study these guys, Dylan, but um, I'll never come into a fight like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him a heck of a fight is what I'm saying. So yeah, I was super impressed, but I would never draw a comparison between that fight and the fight that he's going to have with me. And
Yeah, I mean,
that's not taken away from Pat at all. I'm saying that he'll have a better fight with me. You know what I mean? Than he will with Rumsey.
yeah, well, definitely step up from the debut with all due respect to Lewis Rumsey in saying that, just because you're on a multi-fight winning streak and have definitely established yourself in the promotion. So, yeah, I mean, even kudos to Brady in that sense for taking, that next step up in, class and stuff like that, just in terms of your momentum relative to Rumsey's in recent times
It's
and
my
all that.
seventh. It's my eighth bare knuckle fight. You know what I mean? I'm on a 4 fight knockout streak, and let's be honest that I'm not stopping there. So it's like I understand this game. I boxed a very long time. I boxed a very, very long time. Thing is, they don't mention my boxing skills a lot because I'm not coming off of like, HBO, or I'm not coming from Showtime. I'm not coming off of World Championship. But I did win a Golden Gloves. I did have a national ranking, and I was the top amateur boxer in this country. And I went and had one pro fight, knocked the guy out in the first round. And then I went to bare knuckle, and I went back to boxing, and I fought a top 100 guy in the country, and I lost that fight by decision. But boxing's a completely different sport. It's a different geometry. I'm not meant to be a great boxer. I don't, I'm trying to knock guys out when I was amateur boxing. I'm trying to knock guys starch out. So in bare knuckle, when that came around, I was like, man, this is tailor fit for me. Being a hockey player growing up, and also just I got kicked out of a lot of places for fighting. I love to get into a little scrap, a fist fight. Ain't no problem. If we're gonna mouth off, we might as well. If we're gonna have that energy to talk shit to each other, then let's see if you have enough energy to punch each other in the face. And most guys don't. You know what I mean? So that just one thing led to another, and I was like, I hope someday that we could just bare knuckle fight legally. And then I saw BKFC, and I was I was blown away, and I was like, I got to go to a tryout, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it's great that you found such a perfect fit because I do recall that from the time we spoke. I believe it was ahead of your Juan Torres fight because we were talking about your boxing pedigree, ranked top 15 U.S. amateur at one point. I believe you were on the same list as future Olympic silver medalist Richard Torres. And yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you definitely have highlights and gloved boxing for sure, man. Like, just I remember also I had referenced in our prior chat, like, just how great of a day it was for you winning the heavyweight open class central division in the Golden Gloves 2017. But great to hear that bare knuckle is just even that much of a greater fit. I would guess that, that moment has since been usurped. Like, you referred to that moment as the best day of your life. Like, has a BKFC moment kind of superseded that since then almost, or?
I wouldn't say superseded it. It just hits differently now. The wins and the losses, okay? Because like I've lost a lot in the amateurs. I went on an 11 fight losing streak, but I never ever stopped. I never quit. I never felt like that. And I've had a hard road at BKFC at times. Okay, I lost close decision to Juan Torres, and I lost a slobber knocker in my debut to Bobo. Other than that, I've got 4 wins. So I faced adversity, and I walked through it. And I had a year layoff with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Came right back after that year layoff and knocked 3 guys out in 2024 in 1 year. And in that time, I fought a top 100 ranked heavyweight boxer in the country, Quinton Sumter. I fought him at Worcester right before Mohegan. I just decided to do that fight to brush up from Mohegan. They're like, well, don't get hurt, Zach. And I'm like, I won't. And I knew I wasn't going to get hurt. Not that Quinton's a beast, but I'm a super beast. I know he won on points. He beat me up pretty good, but I knew next month I had Mohegan, so I just kept my hands up and protected myself. And it was still a great fight. Entertained the people. They were on their feet. And then after that, I fought Mohegan a month later. I passed medicals right after in Worcester, and then I fought Mohegan, passed medicals, no problem. Went and fought Sturgis, no problem in Sturgis. And here we are. So yeah, I'm only 33, and I got no injuries, so I operate more like I'm 23. I don't have a lot of responsibilities. I don't have any kids, and I don't really want to do anything besides bare knuckle box and be very good at it. So, you know, that's it. I go to work, I train, I eat, and that's it. I sleep, I shit. That's basically, I don't do nothing.
Well, you can tell how focused you are on just, making these great strides in bare knuckle, and your track record you already have definitely speaks to that for sure. And you were kind of mentioning before on the last card you were on the, awareness of the surrounding heavyweight action, like you'd referenced Josh Watson was on the
Watson,
card. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a beast. And listen, they're all beasts. Watson was on the card, and who did he fight?
The kid's
Big guy.
the native.
No, the other guy. Watson. Who's the other big guy that was on the card? Our boy there. He hurt his leg.
Oh, Shoemaker and Burns.
Shoemaker and Burns, they're both good guys. So like, yeah, I got a good camaraderie amongst the heavyweight division. You know, I'm liked amongst the heavyweights. I don't make no problems. Listen, I just fight who they want me to fight, and if we do fight, just know it's just a fight. That's it. I'm not there to fucking insult your family, insult your character. I don't need that either. I don't need that on my soul. You know what I mean? We all got to go to bed at night. We all got to go home, and I just want to be able to look myself in the mirror at the end of the day and be okay with myself. And that's kind of what I have. So yeah, that type of stuff is below me. You know what I mean? I know Philly's eccentric, and they should be. They're on there in the playoffs the next day. So that's awesome. You know what I mean? The NFL will be right there on Sunday. So what a time. What a time to be alive. What a time to fight at KnuckleMania when you got, the NFL coming in the next day.
Yeah, for sure. Good point. I mean, the timing is definitely a little serendipitous in that regard. But speaking of heavyweight action that's also in proximity to you on a big event, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on the heavyweight title fight with Mick Terrill defending his belt against Ben Rothwell.
Yeah, so that's a no comment for me, brother. Everybody wants my opinions on cards because I have a great fight IQ, but I here's one thing I never do. I never give my opinion on cards when I'm at the show or when I'm fighting on the show because it's just it's wrong. You say, oh, this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna lose, and I bump into the guy that I thought was gonna lose, and not only do I feel kind of bad, they feel bad too or weird. I don't want to make them feel weird on their fight day and they got to face me face to face. I'm not about that. I care about the locker room. I care about the quality of the show. So, that's going to be a great fight. That's all I can say. That's going to be a great fight. And, I know I'm going to see both those guys and ask them for pictures. So I'm definitely not, I'm not predicting nothing. I just think it's going to be a slobber knocker. You know, they're both capable. Mick Terrell and Mick Terrell's the champ. And he's fighting Ben Rothwell. And I don't know a lot of guys that would want to fight Ben Rothwell. He's a fucking monster, and I respect him. You know what I mean? He's a good guy, respectable guy. So this is gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's such a quality fight. And yeah, just, I mean, that's great in and of itself. I kind of just wanted just general thoughts and whatnot. It's just, yeah, shows the thoughtfulness, not wanting to make a prediction per se on a fight on the card. I guess like partly why I bring up, the title fight and, some of the rankings involved and everything. I guess I'm just wondering like how much of a focus it is for you to get in that rankings mix. Like you strike me as a guy that's fine to throw down with whoever. Like you seem like a guy that would be like a company man and kind of just easy in general. Like, do you have that particular drive like in this year, like in terms of like a set established goal? Like I want to get myself in the rankings or get a ranked opponent. I guess just, I see you with that
Well,
BKFC license plate. I guess I wonder like when you're getting on that road to maybe getting some BKFC hardware, I suppose.
I'm on that road right now. I've been on that road. I've made disposal of my last four opponents. I'll tell you this: my numbers are through the roof. I make people go crazy when I come out with the mask and the way I fight. You can't. I haven't been knocked down since my first bare knuckle fight. So you can't pay for that. Guys were spitting. I spit out my teeth and I keep going. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I really am a bare knuckle fighter. I've been a bare knuckle fighter since before bare knuckle was around. So this is my destiny, and born to do it. born to do it. So I know I'm within title range after this shot. You know what I mean? After this fight, then they'll put me against the winner of Mick Terrell or the other monster there. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe one more, maybe two more. Who knows? You know what I mean? You've seen guys come in with 3 wins in a row, and they're like, all right, that's a title shot. And I get that when you're coming from the UFC and you're big name with millions of followers. That's great for all of us. So that's just business, but and it makes sense because of the ferocious knockouts, but and the level of people they fought, that all ties into the decision. So I just do what I can and be happy for what I have. And yeah, I know I'm on the road. Just gotta stay on it. You know what I mean? Just keep getting wins.
Yeah, I guess that's really just the biggest thing, just like staying consistent and staying the course. It just seems like a great time in the heavyweight division overall. Just some, yeah, real heavy hitters for sure. Like, I mean, you kind of wonder where Arnold Adams is at in the picture. It seems like Leonardo Perdomo is doing great things. So, yeah, definitely a great weight class for sure, man.
Right. So you figure like they win the title, who is not to say they wouldn't put a face off between me and Perdomo if I beat this guy, we're both on a 5 fight win streak. And that's a tough fucking, you know what I mean? That's a tough fight for anybody. All these fucking guys. We're talking about 3 killers that Perdomo, Rothwell, and Mick Terrell. Those are all killers. Yeah, add Zach Calmus to that mix. Either way, the cookie crumbles. It's gonna be good. Everybody's gonna eat. We're all gonna be active. Let's say I go in there and fucking win, lose or draw. I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna have a great job, and I'm gonna do a great job. That's the best part about all this. So yeah, belts are things that I think about because I'm a high level fighter, but it's definitely not the focus. You know what I mean? I'm focused on putting on wars, building my image to like a you know I want to be remembered in the sport like Hulk Hogan or you know, one of the top guys. I want to be the top guy. That's it. Diamond Dallas Page. I want to be the best. Mankind. Everybody loves the mankind. I'll throw that in there. But I want to be mankind of bare knuckle. I want people to think bare knuckle, Boston, think Zach Calvin, Shark Attack. He's a fucking dog. And people know I'm a dog. I'm a purebred. When I'm out in public, I'm the same way. I'll eat somebody's soul. They don't want it.
You've dropped a couple wrestling references here during the chat, like Shark-a-maniacs and Bigger Than Hogan and Mankind. I saw you at WWE a few weeks ago at a live show. What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a Christmas show. I went with my dad. They have a new restaurant right across from the garden. I think it's called like the Hub or something, and it's super cool because if you're in there eating before you go to an event, you can walk out like the side door. Like they have a side door. You can just walk out, and before they open the gate for all like the ticket holders, you already beat them. So it's like hundreds of people, like thousands of people potentially rushing up the stairs at the same time, and you're just ahead of them. You have to walk in the garden first. So that was cool. And we saw 2 shows for the price of one because they go on Christmas break that week. So we got to see 2 shows, and it was good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you had a good time, man. I also had seen a while ago you have the same birthday as Cody Rhodes. So, yeah,
Cody
definitely a
Rhodes,
fun thing. Yeah.
Michael Phelps. I got Cody Rhodes, Michael Phelps, and Mike Tyson. So
Yeah, I mean, some great company to be in there. Like, I mean, maybe this is kind of in line with the Rothwell Terrell question before. So, I mean, you don't have to answer, obviously, but what were your thoughts on that Tyson Jake Paul fight just because his name got brought up?
I think it was great financially for Mike. That's all I have to say about that. I think it
Yeah.
was great. I think it was great financially for Mike and Netflix or whoever. They brought combat sports to Netflix, so that's a great thing. You gotta be careful. You really gather your thoughts before you comment on a legend like Mike Tyson. What do you think we're gonna be doing at that age? I mean, let's just all put it in perspective. So, yeah, did I enjoy it? No, But am I happy that it happened? Yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I'm in the same camp. It seemed like he had a good financial windfall. Like you said, it brought combat sports to Netflix. And yeah, I mean, we were talking WWE. I mean, they have a big Netflix deal now. BKFC's on DAZN. It just seems like a great time for, combat sports and sports entertainment in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so focused on what I'm doing that that's going to take top priority, and that's that. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah, I
like
mean,
I don't really care that much about the NFL right now. I don't care about the NBA. I don't care about any of that. I care about knocking this dude out, doing the best I can, representing for my city, Gloucester, 01930. You know what I mean? I want to do it.
yeah, I mean, your focus definitely comes across quite a bit throughout this conversation, man. And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this is a huge showcase at KnuckleMania 5. And just, yeah, I think you're going to have one of the more exciting fights, if not fight of the night. I mean, your record speaks to that. But I also do want to be mindful of your time and schedule, being that we are immersed in fight week. I mean, thank you for making the time to.
I got the Gloucester paper calling in.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was just gonna give you the floor if you wanted to give a final parting thought, but if you have to get to another
I
interview,
don't
you
know. I
can
want
definitely
to.
do your thing.
I appreciate your time. I forgot that. I got the Gloucester paper calling. Let me just shout out Mr. Boyker. I appreciate your time. I really do. This show is amazing. I want to shout out the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I want to shout out BKFC. You know what I mean? Everything they do for me. Champs Boxing Gym, Coach Dave, my boy Blake LaCaze. I want to shout out Gloucester, Massachusetts, 01930, Farmer Strength, and everything that we do. You know what I mean? I appreciate my whole team, and we're gonna bring it this fight. We're absolutely gonna bring it this fight.
You
Look at
always do,
those
man.
hands. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, super appreciate the time and for coming on Bare Knuckle Bowker. I'm stoked to see your KnuckleMania 5 fight and just, yeah, hope the next interview goes smoothly and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're gonna get it.